I think you'll find this study quite enlightening when it comes to paprika and energy in focus overall. Paprika, in particular the xanthophylls in paprika, have a pretty profound effect on increasing endurance as well as delivery of oxygen, which helps with concentration, so on and so forth. So without complicating into the beginning, let's get right into the study as follows. So we look at the title, Effects of Paprika Xanthophylls Intake on Endurance and Cognitive Function in College Students, a crossover randomized controlled trial. So let's put this in brief real fast. The paprika power up, high quality design, great design, but it still needs a placebo group. Who was tested? You can see the athletes there. A small group, but still significant. The daily dose, only 9 milligrams of paprika xanthophylls were required. Now, the next question is, well, how much paprika is that in a general spice? Well, a high-quality general spice, you're looking at about 3/4 of a teaspoon to a teaspoon of a high-quality red paprika. But still, just the same, 9 milligrams, you can see that being introduced into endurance, focus products, so on and so forth, or just take it on its own. Again, 9 milligrams paprika xanthophylls. And how long? The results you're about to see here, or share together, were the results after only 30 days. So let's get right into those particular results as follows. The key findings. So I'll move this aside there. All right, there's that. The key findings that we're having in the study is pretty fascinating. So looking at an 8.5% higher power before hitting the wall. You can read what that means there, the ventilatory threshold. You have to push harder and longer before feeling exhausted. Again, 30 days, just 9 milligrams paprika xanthophylls per day. The peak power output. Now, a lot of cyclists and rowers are going to really appreciate this. Again, significantly more power generated after a mere 30-day period of time at just 9 milligrams paprika xanthophylls per day. That's what got my attention, and that's why we're going to go into the study in a little bit more detail here so you get an idea of the backstory. All right, recently interventions with antioxidant nutrients aimed at improving the delivery of oxygen have garnered attention. Several studies on humans have shown that paprika xanthophylls found in red paprika possess antioxidant properties similar to other xanthophylls such as lutein and zeaxanthin, notably capsanthin and capsorubin, which are primary xanthophylls in red paprika. Notably, start to move forward, considered to exhibit high scavenging activity against reactive oxygen species. A little technical, but still bear with me. Furthermore, these pigments have been confirmed to be contained in red blood cells. Interesting. Suggesting the possibility that paprika xanthophylls may contribute to a reduction in oxidative stress and improvement in delivery of oxygen efficiency. Furthermore, paprika xanthophylls intake has been shown to reduce heart rate, which we'll show you in a second, and oxygen consumption during exercise and improved exercise efficiency, suggesting its potential to enhance endurance performance through improved delivery of oxygen. Now bring it home. Meanwhile, improvements in oxygen delivery efficiency may extend beyond the muscular system to include cerebral microcirculation, specifically higher order cognitive function. And you get into the energy and the focus, such as the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex are susceptible to cognitive decline due to inefficient oxygen supply. Conversely, improved oxygenation has been reported to enhance cognitive function. There you have it. However, while previous research on paprika xanthophylls research has primarily focused on muscular performance and physiological responses, its effects on the cerebral microcirculation and cognitive function have not been sufficiently investigated. A preliminary study was suggestive in effect, but was limited to a small sample size and lacked key physiological markers to elucidate the mechanism. All right, let's look at a little more detail in regard to those results. All right, here it is. Heart rate was reduced, and look at the supercharged fuel economy. This is where they use less oxygen to produce the same amount of work, as you can see under the section which says what it means, which is pretty fascinating when you're looking only at a 30-day period of time of consuming a mere 9 milligrams of paprika xanthophylls. That doesn't suggest that more may be better, but again, 9 milligrams is not a lot. To have this type of impact for 30 days is pretty astounding. All right, let's get back into the conclusion as follows. All right, it is speculated based on the findings of paprika xanthophylls intake may improve oxygen delivery efficiency, possibly through a maintenance of the red blood cells deformability, and a reduction in blood flow resistance. Everything moves easier and is more adogenic. This could be a new nutritional strategy to concurrently boost both endurance, performance, and cognitive function. Paprika before a test? You never know. That's publisher bias, but still, seems promising if we postulate. This could be a new nutritional strategy to concurrently boost both endurance, performance, and cognitive function. Future research is needed to more clearly elucidate these mechanisms by directly assessing red blood cell deformability and localized cerebral blood flow. All right, real fast. There's the methodology in regard to the paprika xanthophylls. You see only 9 milligrams there. Again, equivalent about 3/4 of a teaspoon to a teaspoon of a high quality red paprika. Maybe. Again, it's a little publisher bias and it's real rough, but still just the same to give you some sort of context. And to take it away, the 30-day transformation, 4.1% higher peak power, 8.5% more stamina before fatigue, lower heart rate, and 3.2% better fuel efficiency from a mere 9 milligrams. 9 milligrams times 30 is, we're looking at 270 milligrams over a period of 30 days. So think about that. To result in this type of outcome is pretty darn spectacular. And then you get more into the as far as the rough estimation in regard to the general spice as a whole. But still, just the same, a boost for the mind and the body, or body and mind, depending on how you read it. Again, fascinating. 9 milligrams. That's it. In a 30-day month, 270 milligrams total to have that type of result. Pretty astounding. Gratitude to the researchers. Fascinating discovery. And as always, I am humbled you watch and look forward to see what you and I both share next week. And I'm probably going to go grab some paprika. All right, catch you all next. Try saying that like 30 times. All right, catch you in a bit. Bye.